Hello and welcome. Today I'll be explaining how to knit this beautiful sweater for a baby of 4-year-old. The materials that you will need to knit the sweater are pink and white yarn, both are 100% soft acrylic 4-ply yarn, and the needles that I have used to knit this sweater are number 9 straight and circular needle both. I have used both straight and circular needles as the stitches will be too much once you complete the yoke. So you will need circular needle. I have not knit in round, it is the straight knitting itself. Also, you will need a few stitch markers. You will need these press buttons, scissor, a crochet hook, a few pearls and a sewing needle. So with these materials, we will start knitting this sweater. To continue with the cardigan, now my work is facing on the wrong side. So now I will make one row of purl and after that I will make one row of knit. So complete these two rows, one row of purl on the wrong side and one row of knit on the right side. After making one row of purl and one row of knit, now again we are on the wrong side, and for this row I am going to knit all the stitches. Now we will begin with the design pattern. First I will make 7 knits. These are for the border. 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So these 7 stitches on the either side I will be using for border. Now for this sweater I am going to keep a design of mock cable effect stitch, the video of which I have already shared. You can refer the description for a detailed video. Now to begin, I will knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and take the yarn forward, purl 2, 1, 2. Now again keep the yarn back, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and yarn front, purl 2, 1, 2. So for the entire row you will be repeating these 6 stitches, knit 4, purl 2, knit 4, purl 2 till the end, leaving last 7 stitches for the border. You can also keep a track of your buttonholes if you have to make here. So except last 7 stitches, till the end of this row you will be repeating knit 4 and purl 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 and purl 2. Purl 1, purl 2. Okay, after making purl 2 I have 7 stitches and these 7 stitches are the border stitches, so I will be knitting them. Also I have to make a buttonhole here. So first I will knit 2, 1, 2, yarn over, make a knit 2 together to create a buttonhole, then knit 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now going to the second round of design. First 7 as usual, they are the border stitches, so we will always be knitting them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. After these 7 stitches we will make the stitches as they appear, so we will knit them. These stitches appear knitwise, so we will knit them, knit 2 and next we have purl 4. The 4 stitches that we made knit on the right side appear purl on the wrong side. And now we will purl them. Yarn front, purl 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Next 2 stitches appear knit, so keep the yarn back and knit 2. Yarn front, purl 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn back again knit 2, purl 4, knit 2, purl 4. Continue this until you have 7 stitches left for the border, which you have to knit. Going to the third row of design. Now row number 3 and row number 4 are similar to row number 1 and row number 2. We will be repeating row number 1 and 2 again. Starting with row 1 again. Complete row 1 and row 2 one more time, and then we will meet for the 5th row of design. Row 5 of design, knit 7 for border, knit 7 for border. Next knit 2, 1, 2, keep the yarn front, purl 2, 1, 2, yarn back, knit 2, 1, 2. Now we have to repeat these set of 6 stitches again and again till the end of the design pattern. Again we have to start with knit 2, yarn front, purl 2, 1, 2, and knit 2, 1, 2. 2 sets of design pattern. Start with knit 2 again, knit 2, yarn front, purl 2, and knit 2. Repeat this pattern till the end of this row, except for last 7 stitches, which will be knit stitches for the border. Going to 6th row on the wrong side. So on the 6th row we will make the stitches as they appear. First 7 stitches for the border, knit them, 1, 7. Next 2 stitches appear purl, so purl them, 1, 2. Next 2 stitches appear knitwise, knit them, 1, 2. Next 4 stitches appear purl, purl them, purl 1, 2, 3 and 4. Next 2 stitches appear knit, knit them, 1, 2. So you have to continue this row in the similar way. Just make the stitches as they appear. If they appear purl wise, purl them. If they appear knit wise, knit them. Continue this till you have 7 stitches left, and you have to knit 7 stitches for the border. And also complete row number 7 and 8. Row number 7 is similar to row number 5, and row number 8 is similar to row number 6. So complete till row 8, and we will meet for the 9th row of the design. Row 9. I have done 7 stitches for the border. Now for row 9 we will start with purl 2, yarn front, purl 2, 1, 2, then keep the yarn back and knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again keep the yarn front and purl 2, 1, 2, keep the yarn back and knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now go on repeating these 6 stitches till you have last 7 stitches left, and there you make knit stitches for border. This is very simple, just making purl 2, knit 4, purl 2, knit 4, quite opposite to row number 1. Now it is purl 2, 1, 2 and knit 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Row 7. I have done 7 stitches for the border, and now we will make the stitches as they appear. So first 4 stitches appear purl, purl them, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Next 2 are knit stitches, knit 1, knit 2. Next I have 4 purls, yarn front and purl 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next 2 are knit, knit 1, knit 2. So continue the same, purl 4, knit 2. Just make the stitches as they appear. This is the 10th row, and for row number 11 you will repeat whatever you did for row number 9, and for row number 12 you will repeat whatever you are doing for row number 10. So complete these 2 rows. After the end of 12th row, this is how the pattern looks. So this stitch pattern is of 12 rows, and you will be repeating these 12 rows for the required length of the skirt part of this sweater. I'm going to keep this for 6 inches. So I'll be repeating these 12 rows for a total of 6 inches now. 6 inches of design pattern is done. Now we will continue with the further process. So now I am in the right side, and for the next row, being in the right side, I will first knit the 7 stitches of the border. 7. After these 7 stitches, I will take the yarn forward and I will purl all the stitches until last 7 stitches are left. Purl all the stitches. We are not following design pattern now. Now knit last 7 stitches of the border. Going to the wrong side now. Knit 7 stitches of the border. Now keep the yarn front and purl all the stitches until you have last 7 stitches of the border left, and knit those 7 stitches. Next row on the right side, knit all the stitches. Next row on the wrong side, knit first 7 stitches, 1 and 7. After 7 stitches, make 1 stitch by wrapping the yarn around your finger and placing the loop back on the needle. Now take the yarn forward, purl 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again make 1 by wrapping the yarn around your finger and placing the loop back on the needle. Again purl 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make 1, purl 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make 1. So this we will continue. Make 1 and purl 5 until you have last 7 stitches left. So now it is a make 1, purl 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And last 7 stitches of the border, we will take the yarn back and knit 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now going to the right side. From this row, we will be using the moss stitch pattern or the seed stitch pattern. It is just to make knits over pearls and pearls over knits. If you don't know how to make the moss stitch pattern, please refer the link in the description. Now let's start. Keeping first stitch and last stitch as knit, we will start the moss stitch pattern. First stitch is knit, and even though we had 7 stitches for the border, I will start with purl, yarn back, knit, yarn front, purl, yarn back, knit, yarn front, purl, yarn back, knit. Continue to make 1 knit and 1 purl till the end of this row except for the last stitch. Now last 2 stitches, I have got 1 stitch before the last stitch as knit. Also, instead of making the last stitch as purl according to the moss stitch pattern, I will still make the last stitch as knit. First and last stitch of both the sides, I will make knit, and I will follow the moss stitch pattern only with the remaining stitches, except for first and last stitch. The remaining stitches in the middle, they will be made in moss stitch pattern. Going to the wrong side, first stitch, knit again. Now according to moss stitch, we will make the stitches opposite to what they appear. So this is the purl, I will knit it. Next stitch is knit, so I will purl it. Just go on doing the opposite of the stitches. Again follow knit 1 purl 1 pattern. Refer the description for the detailed video on how to make the moss stitch pattern. So continue to make the moss stitch pattern for at least 1 inch. Now here I have made 9 rows of this moss stitch design. This is on the right side now. I will cast off all the stitches. I am casting off knitwise. Cast off all the stitches. The border is done now. We will make a delicate edging for this border now. For that I am using white color. You can see how beautiful this border looks. Increasing the stitches makes this look more beautiful. Let's start with the border edging now. For the border edging, I'll be using a 3.5 mm crochet hook and 2 strands of white yarn. I will insert the hook in the first cast off stitch here under both the loops and I will attach both of this white yarn here. Now make chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip one stitch and in the next stitch make another slip stitch. Like this. Continue chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip one stitch, in the next stitch make a slip stitch. Again chain 3, 1, 2, 3 and skip a stitch, insert in the next stitch under both the loops of the cast off and make a slip stitch and make a slip stitch. Continue this, chain 3, skip one stitch and make a slip stitch in the next stitch. You have to continue this for the entire edge until you reach the last edge, until you reach the other edge here. The edging is complete. I have completed it with a slip stitch, chain 1 and I have cut the yarn. Also I have stitched it inside. Now we will start with the sleeves. We had taken 50 stitches on the stitch holder. Now I will transfer these 50 stitches on a straight needle. You can even use circular needle and use a magic loop technique to knit them if you want to knit in rounds. I am going to knit them in straight, so I am using straight needles. First I will transfer all the stitches on the straight needle. After transferring all the stitches on the needle, I will start with the first row, which is on the wrong side. Working with straight needles, first few rows will be a little bit difficult. The stitches will be tight, later on it will be easy. Now for the first row on the wrong side, I will purl all the stitches. Going to the second row, right side, I will slip the first stitch and knit all the stitches. Third row, wrong side, slip the first stitch purlwise, yarn back, knit all the stitches except the last stitch. Last stitch, yarn front and purl. Going to right side, slip the first stitch, And from this row we will be following the same design pattern. Whatever we did for the body of the sweater, this same pattern we are going to follow for the same length. This was 6 inches, so I'm going to follow the same design pattern for 6 inches from this row. First stitch I will slip, I will continue with the design pattern, and last stitch I will knit. After completing 6 inches of this design pattern for the sleeve, I am going to continue this exactly like this, making 1 row of purl, 2 rows of stockinette, then increasing stitches, that is purl 5 make 1, purl 5 make 1, and then keeping 9 rows of this moss stitch, then the white edging. So I am going to continue the same type and exactly the same length, whatever I have done for the body of the sweater, and I will finish the sleeve. Similarly, I will make another sleeve. I have completed making this sweater now. I have attached the flower and also the pearls. Now the sweater is ready. Also, I have attached press buttons here. These pearls are just for the show. These buttons are the actual ones. I hope you enjoyed making this sweater with me. Thanks a lot for watching. Do subscribe for more videos.